Welcome, punters, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. All-Star Mile Day, Golden Slipper Day, wherever you live, however you want to see it. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Going super. I keep thinking today's Thursday, and I haven't done enough form, but we're on a Wednesday.
You got another day to go.
Yeah, another day to go. More races to study, but yeah, footy's on. So yeah, it's big weekend of action.
Massive weekend. NRL obviously around again, and AFL kicking off on Thursday night. We report this weekend.
We're Saturday twilight, just as I think as the All Star Miles on. So I'm going to be on track, but I am going to watch the footy.
You were going to have screens going left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I won't be paying attention to the All Star Mile, that's for sure. Probably after quarter time, I'll start watching the races. But big weekend, can't wait. As we said last week, we're going to run through two races, runner by runner, All-Star Mile and Ranvert Stakes Race 6 at Rosehill. We just haven't had enough time as it's a Wednesday night to do a deep dive. So we're diving deep into two races only. So yeah, we're going to change things up a little bit and see how we go. We might actually find some winners this week, that's why we're here. We'll have bets. I'll have a bet around the ground. We'll have a same race multi in both races. And pineapple of the week, we'll have to find out at the end of the show where I go. Talking points this week, Matty. I'm going to get you off the cuff here and see how you go. When was the last time you bought a race book on track?
Bought or got given?
Bought, given. When was the last time you looked at a race book?
Oh, geez. Never, ever in my life have I bought one.
Okay.
Only in corporate environments have I been given one on the table.
Yep. Do you read them?
No.
Yep. And that's a good segue. Beautiful. I like it. So I sometimes buy a race book, as you can see. I got one from last week. I think they're completely dead. I think they're going to be made redundant if they don't do something different, because if you look here, you got your nice little form guide here, nice and coloured, well presented. Nice little short form, we'll call it, 5 starts ago. For $5, I don't know why anyone pays for it, because then you move to interstate that people like to have a bet. And when I finished work on Saturday, I thought, I'll just have a look at the Sydney form. So they go to the last 3 starts, which is just, you can't be betting off last 3 starts. And then I go to Eagle Farm and Morphettville, Edenhope, Gosford, Gold Coast and Ascot, and they're just acceptances where they're just names of jockeys and horses. So what's the point in producing a race book? Is it to promote the sponsors? I don't know. I remember pre-COVID that Vince Accardi's IVR data used to be in the Flemington race book. Now, that was serviceable, and I always used to buy one when I was at Flemington. Now COVID's hit, not there anymore. What's happened? MRC, they used to do a race book with the best bets. So they would just copy and paste a very good race book. I actually started buying them because it was actually a form guide. Now that's gone because of COVID. So where's the race book sit now? Does it just become redundant and be nothing? Or do Racing Australia have got to do something, because, or whatever club it is that produces them, because they will be redundant. They need to form with bets, because every punter that goes, I reckon 90% of punters would know what a best bets are. 90% of punters carry them. So why not strike an affiliation with them, sell the best bets on course, or print them as a normal race book as the best bets? Because honestly, I'm looking at last week's now, and he's dead set shit house. I wouldn't pay anything for it going forward. I don't know what your thoughts are, Matty. I know you've never bought one, but any thoughts?
When you mentioned it, it's got the colours of the jockeys in there.
Yeah, got the colours of the jockeys.
Well, there we go. It's doing its job.
Yeah, look,
What more do you want? That is serviceable for at least 20% of the population that go to the races.
Mate, I'm not joking. There was race books on the ground everywhere, and that wasn't even be after last. But everyone, fair enough. Everyone uses their phones now, and you can get your colours there. But try and get something out of the race book, because I still think there's something there for it for the punter. If that's just get rid of these and just sell best bets, that might be the key going forward. But I don't know. Is it there for just sponsors now and say, hey, you get your name in the race book? I don't know.
How much do you reckon the AFL record's going for this year?
Oh, at least $8.
I'll let you know after tomorrow night. I reckon it might have a one in front of it.
Oh, yeah, it probably does. Are you buying it to throw at supporters or to actually read it? Just say. So if anyone's sitting near Matty tomorrow night, just maybe wear a helmet, because there might be a record coming your way if you're a Richmond supporter. But yeah, it's disappointing, mate, because 10 years ago, this was a serviceable thing. And I used to buy them, and I hadn't bought one for, I reckon, 5 years now, but I dead set these are dead. It's a shame, because people used to go to the races to buy a race book. Instead, they're becoming memorabilia for if you win a race or you win a Group 1. People are holding on for them because of that. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. If you're a racebook buyer, if you're not, let us know your thoughts. I want to see where you think they're at, because I think they're completely going to be made redundant in 3 to 5 years, which is a real shame. All right, that's my rant for this week. Track stats. We've got 2 this week. We're going to the Valley, Rail True. Nice warm weather this week, around 29 degrees. Look for horses up on speed no further back than 5th in running. Leaders win at 45%, and lanes 1 to 3 win at 40%. Lanes 4 to 7 win at 52% of the time when the rail is true. So hopefully that gives you a good indication. Rosehill, Rail True. This is a very even spread here. Leaders 39%, mids 29%, rears 32%, lanes 1 to 3 19%, lanes 4 to 7 45%, lanes 8 plus 36%. To me, it looks like it's going to play nice and even, but it's a really hot week, 30 degrees plus all week. That's going to be a rock hard track, hard, fast time. So they might be breaking some records up there on Saturday, and I'm going to be looking for horses up on speed because of it. Trial trackers, I actually found one while we were in pre-production. We're going to the Valley Race 2, number 14, Morpheus Abragi. This horse has had 2 jump outs. One of them was just a pass mark, which I really liked. And the most recent one I especially liked. His last 50 metres and through the line looked nice and strong, and he's come back really, really well. Both jump outs this time have been par. Definitely put this horse in your black bookers, because it will be winning this prep. It is race 2, number 4, Morpheus Abragi. If you're watching on YouTube, I will put the clip up for you to make your own mind. I think it's in the white cap, blue silks, white sleeves. It's just look for it to be winning that trial.
Number 14.
Number 14.
Cool.
All right, All-Star Mile. We'll kick things off here. We'll put the speed maps down below of this race so you can see where we potentially both think they're going to sit. Pretty hard when we've got both different opinions, but I've roughly put one together how we think they're going to be. So you can see throughout the whole race, throughout the whole preview, how we think they're going to be landing. All right. I better get my shit together here and get the field up. I will say it is probably the best field we've probably had in 4 or 5 editions of the All-Star Mile. Every horse except one in the final field is above 100 rater. So good on the Race in Victoria, whoever runs it. You finally got a good field. All right, kick things off here. Number 1, I'm Thunderstruck. D Moore on board. $6.50 top odds. Matty, kick us away.
Well, hopefully on the speed map we've got this worse than midfield. Look, from Mary number 5, we'll get a nice run. Has been super consistent, this horse. And I think you're going to hear that about a fair few of these horses. But this one particularly, just hasn't been able to get that W. Rates exceptionally well, and realistically is the best, if not on par with the best horses rated within this race from a benchmark perspective. So, guys, if you've been on Thunderstruck, I don't think myself or Worm are going to be talking out anyone sticking with it for the All-Star Mile. It's one of the horses within this field with a chance. I'd prefer if it was a little bit more aggressive and maybe sat in midfield rather than worse than midfield. We'll see how that plays out with Daniel Moore on board. But Worm, again, going to be a horse with plenty to give. How did you see it?
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this horse. I've been on it both times. First up, I really liked. Second up, geez, I thought he was disappointing. He had the run of the race, had his chances to get past I'm Thunderstruck, and he was really weak the last 50 metres. Was that conditioning? I don't know. So is this horse a milk drinker? Is this horse looking for 2,000 metres, or are they saving this horse for one run this prep? I don't know. It's overthinking maybe. So when I went back to when he beat Alligator Blood, he beat him Mackay Diva Stakes Day. Now, that day was a headwind into the straights, severe headwind. I'm Thunderstruck got the suck off I'm Thunderstruck the whole way down the straight, peeled out with 100 to go, got him on the line. So looking at that, I'm going to take him on. I know I've been with him twice and we know what happens. Once I jump off, they win. Just look at Sparkle last week. But yeah, I'm Thunderstruck. I'm going to not be with it. But if you like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I think we've got to see other people. Enough's enough for me. Number 2, Alligator Blood, Blake Shin, $2.80.
It's probably a very good setup just in terms of on Thunderstruck, Alligator Blood, and you can throw in Mr. Brightside. Anytime, I think either of us back any three of those horses, one of the other ones win. Alligator Blood, you can't fault this horse, honestly. I thought it was no chance last start. When I say no chance, I thought it was going to be difficult for the horse to be winning that race, and it was exceptional. So from barrier number 7 here, Blake Shin, I think gets a really nice toe into the race. I expect it to be sitting in the top 5 to 6 horses. If it does that comfortably, I can't see this horse being outside the top 3 at the end of this race. Now, the 280 is not attractive in this field. I'll be brutally honest there. But given the barrier, Blake Shin, where it's going to land in the field, I can't visualise this horse being anywhere worse than, I'll say top 4 at very worst. Worm, yourself?
Synthetic Hoofler goes on again, this horse. So be wary of that. That's not something I want to get involved in, but I think it won the big race, the 1,600 metre race in November with Synthetic Hoofler. I could be wrong, yes. But yeah. No,
I remember talking about that.
Okay, good. It's a negative for me, but I cannot knock this horse. Deserves to be favourite. Great prep, great win first up. But seriously, how do they get past this horse if he hits the front? He's dead set a war horse. We'll find the perfect spot, as you said. I think he just maps right behind Gentleman Roy, who's going to lead with Keats. So he's just going to be smoking the pipe. Go and watch the Cantala race in November. It led on a fast tempo. It was 6 up that run. And held off Brightside, Cascadian, Aegon, My Oberon. I'll be shocked if you get better than $3 come race time. Or when I typed that last night, it was $3. Now $2.80 top odds. So they've come for it. Totally respect. Deserves to be favourite. Number 1 seed in my eyes. Number 3, Cascadian, Ben Mallam, $15, barrier 14.
Barrier 14, mate. If this was better than an inside draw, let's say better than barrier number 7, I would be absolutely all over Cascadian. I can only see one option for Ben Mallam here, and that is to pull the horse back, go across, sit on the rails, and hope for some luck. I don't think Ben Mallam's necessarily going to get instructions to have this horse sitting wide over 1,600 metres and go into the car park. So, look, its best run is right up to On Thunderstruck, Alligator Blood, Mr. Brightside, Gentleman Roy. All those, Cascadian is right in it. But this barrier is an absolute killer, and for that, I can't tip anybody into it.
Yeah, okay. Good first up run against Notorious in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. I love this horse. Everyone knows I love him. But barrier 14, it means they have to go 5 wide around the school, around the side when cornering. But my gut is telling me here, and I might be bloody off my head here, but I reckon they hug the rail here and try and find some gaps late and can run top 3 if they hug the rail and the gaps open for this horse. Yeah, it just smells of something like that. I don't think they'd come down here to sit 5, 6 wide. I think they just say, hey, just hug the rail and let's see where we finish. Cummings doesn't need the money. He doesn't, prize money's nothing to him. It's more winning big races, and its best chance is staying on that rail, I reckon.
Cascadian has won races like that previously too.
Yeah. He's going to be slow, so he'll be slow out. He'll miss the kick a little bit. So, yeah, just keep an eye on him. It'll be interesting what happens when the race is on and what Benny Malum does. Mr. Number 4, Mr. Brightside, Luke Curry coming down from Hong Kong, a barrier 2, $8.
Mr. Brightside. Yeah, look, I like the barrier that it's found itself in. I'm not a fan of Mr. Brightside when it's out wide, is worse than midfield. So from barrier number 2, I think Luke Curry can be quite positive, be sitting better than midfield on this horse, and that's where it likes to be. It was very forward when it won the Fian and also the Lawrence last start. And again, if Luke Curry can get a decent position here, I think round the bend, it's going to be following or horse into this race, peel off and have a go at passing, 2 to 3 horses in front of it down the straight. So Mr. Brightside, similar to On Thunderstruck and also Alligator Blood, are going to be eating this from a ratings perspective. But I also think Mr. Brightside from barrier number 2 is going to get one of the runs of the race. Worm, how did you see it?
Yeah, interesting here. I think from the map here, they have a choice here. They could really leave Alligator Blood 3 wide, no cover here. From barrier 2, Nugget's going to kick up. I predict Mr. Brightside is going to be positive. I think they know they can't win a race going back. His best win, I thought, was at Moonee Valley last prep when he led. So I'm not saying he's going to lead. I think he sits behind them. He could be really tactical here, and if they do, they're a big chance of winning if they can keep Alligator Blood 3 wide, no cover. All I keep hearing about this horse is how well it's come back. It's better than last prep. So if it's better than last prep, wowee. It's in for a dead set. Big chance. Hit the line hard first up. Second up, gave Alligator Blood 3 lengths mid-race. And, yeah, I thought it ran better. It's 200-metre splits from the 1,000 to the winning post. He was better than Alligator Blood. So I like to see that. Through the line, he was really good. Okay, Cantala, Mr. Brightside, was 6th up. He had enough. 3rd up now. No excuses. This horse is time or never. So, big tick in my eyes.
I think importantly as well with Mr. Brightside, it's won at the track. It's actually won twice at the track. It's suited to Moonee Valley, not so suited to your Sandowns and your Flemingtons. I think Alligator Blood and also On Thunderstruck, they prefer those long straights.
Yep. Good point about Brightside small tracks. Number 5, Soci Bon, barrier 15. Harry Coffey, 101.
What does Harry do? Forward, back?
Oh,
doesn't matter.
I reckon he tries and gives it a decent chance. He could be 3 wide, no cover.
Yeah, I see that happening as well. I think he'll try and really ping the gates here with Soci Bon. I can't have it within this class. So from a wide gate, it will be a pass from me.
I'll just say no. Let's move on to the next one. It's interesting, though, he only got a start because 10 to 12 other horses said no to accepting for the All-Star Mile. So that's why he's in, because I thought it was a shock. But, yeah, when I read, it was 10 to 12 horses saying no. Number 6, Laws of Indices, Oseen Murphy from Europe, barrier 6, $17.
Oh, look, I can't knock its runs. I definitely do have others ahead of it. I think from a map perspective, from barrier number 6, it'll be in kind of that top 6 or 7 horses. So it'll look like it'll have a chance around the bend. But from a benchmark perspective, I've got others well in front of it. So it'll be a pass from me. Worm.
Something we spoke here, and it was Cox Plate Day, about why are they using European jockeys? It's a very unique track. I know O.C. Murphy has ridden here when he was an apprentice, I think it was. So he knows the track a little bit, but he hasn't been here for a while. The tempos are different. I would have loved to have seen a local horse, but I think this horse is flying under the radar. Last start was waiting for a run and had to wait for Animo to go past him and had to build through its gears when this horse got out at 250 metres to go. Should have finished second if it had any luck. I can't get this horse out of my head. Third, beaten 1.5 to California Spangle, Golden 60. Don't forget the Toorak run, when sitting last, spotting the leader at least 12 lengths mid-race. My only knock is why is Oseen Murphy on? Should have used a local talent, but I think this horse is a serious contender with the form lines it has and last start. Number 7, Aegon, Blake McDougall, barrier 8, $34.
Yeah, the Ken Taylor last prep was only about a length away from these horses in Thunderstruck, Alligator Brillard and Mr. Brightside. So, look, at the odds, it's not without a top 5 chance. I think Aegon probably gets back a little bit here, so he's going to need some luck at this track. And for that reason, it will be a pass in terms of betting on the horse. But again, the top 5, top 6 finish would not surprise at odds.
I'm just going to say no. I've got nothing positive to say about this horse. Going well, but yeah, there's no point talking about a horse that I genuinely think has no chance. Good luck to owners and connections, though. Number 8, Alaquia, barrier 9, Geordie Childs, $20.
Look, you'll need to take on trust with some of this international form. I think Worm, first start at the track, I'll probably be waiting for this one to get to further distance. So it'll be a pass for me. How did you see its international form?
Yeah, interesting. It's third top rated here with a rating of 114. So must respect that. 100% agree with you. 2,000 metres is where I'll be looking for this horse. It's had 3 jump outs. 3 have been okay. Brings really good A-grade form from Europe. Beat State of Rest back in May 22. But doesn't really have a turn of foot for me that can win a race at 1,600. I can't knock this horse in a... Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to knock this horse in a Group 1 field off those jump outs. I just, can't be with it. If it's 2,000 metres, I think we're having a different conversation. But, there's a bit of talk about how well this horse is going. So keep an eye on it. I'll be looking forward to see how big this horse is as it's still a horse. But, just a no from me at the moment. Number 9, the inevitable D. Pears, barrier 3, $23.
Well, Picket Fence from down in Tasmania has raced in Victoria previously, and when it was raced in Victoria, it wasn't up to this type of class. So it will be a pass from me based on the class factor. Worm.
It's going to get a nice spot from barrier 3, but Tassie form isn't strong enough for this. Number 10, My Oberon, barrier 11, Jamie Mott, $34.
Well, this is an interesting runner as well here, Worm. Out of the Annabelle Nation runners, this is the one I actually didn't mind at $34. Again, I think it's going to get a little further back here, My Oberon. And I do have other runners ahead of it. So, again, similar to Aegon, like that top 5, 6 runner, this could be one of them, but I can't see it getting a place on the podium.
First up, I thought it wasn't good enough for me, but did have an internal bleed last start. So punters, do we forgive that? I don't know. But if you go off its Cox Plate run, 100% you need to be with this horse. But its first up run just scared me a little bit to say no, not this one. Barrier 11, he's going to be out wide. He's going to be 5 deep going into that bend. As I said, brings that Cox Plate Day run. It can generally win, but there's too many ifs and buts and whatever, So I'll say no. Number 11, Gentleman Roy, Barrier 10, Daniel Stackhouse, $20.
Mate, my feelings on this horse, especially on the podcast, it's only 4th up here. I feel like it's been up for a long time, and I feel like every run has just been an absolute gut buster for this horse.
Yep.
It keeps showing up, and it keeps being up to this level. So I hope Daniel Stackhouse is exceptionally positive and does get to the lead. If it doesn't, don't wring its neck off getting there. Just take the sit, because this horse in the last 200 metres can pass others and also is exceptionally hard to pass. So from a benchmark perspective, this plays right in there with the best in this field. Now, as you said, there are question marks, especially just given the toughness of its last couple of runs. But in saying this is a very, very tough horse. So he needs to be taken into serious consideration.
Yeah, interesting what they do from 10. We know he's going to lead, but does he try and find that rail and hand up to Keats, or does he just say foot to the floor and go to that rail? Because I know Keats, they're not going to die wondering.
No.
So, yeah, interesting 200 metres.
If that's the case, just give it to Keats, because Keats will be the first horse beat. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun, but come on.
Okay. For me, beaten 3.5 lengths last start, much easier race. I know it was coming off a setback, but it has to improve many lengths for me. But as you said, going to be on pace, going to make every post a winner, and the Valley is the perfect track to do that. So you sort of half twisted my arm. I was giving this a flat no, but it might have just gone from maybe finishing 10th to about 7th. So you put a good point together there, mate. Number 12, Pounding, Barrier 12, Luke Nolan, $35.
Interesting with this one. I've said that about a few, but look, this has been running in the lesser grades, Group 2s and Group 3s, while the others have been running in Group 1s. But what really caught my eye here, was its times. Its times have been really competitive, and it's been up to the top tier within this field. So at large odds, Luke Nolan knows how to be very competitive in these races. The wide gate doesn't help it. I don't like the wide gate, but I see a bit of a party in the seas here. Now, it might just be my imagination, but I hope you've got this in the speed map. You've got the horses that will be fighting for the lead, which will be about 5 or 6 of them. And then you've got a bunch of them, like Cascadian, that'll just be ambling out. I see a lot of space in the middle for a horse like Pounding. And of the wider ones, it's going to be the first one to be able to slot across. So it could sit in a position like 6, 7, 8, 9 quite comfortably. And with a bit of luck, it could be right in the finish at ridiculous odds. So Pounding not without a chance. Worm?
Yeah, we spoke about this. This is the runner we put with Cascadian here. If they go out wide, they're genuinely no chance. So if they take the suck run, try and, cut a few corners and weave their gaps through, hey, he's a dead set chance of running top 3. Coming out of the Gentleman Roy race last start, beat him easily, I thought. The map is, as I said, it's only knock for me. If they go wide, it's a no. If they go through the guts, they can dead set run top 4, definitely. Number 13, Nugget, D. Oliver, Barrier 1, $21.
I'd expect Miss Oliver to be exceptionally positive from barrier number one. He knows better than most that you don't waste gate number one at Mooney Valley. Look, at a top 10 might be where I find this horse, but I've clearly got others above it. Worm, how did you see Nugget?
If you like this horse, forgive last start. If you're a fan of the horse, I'd forgive last start. Tactics are wrong. Don't think it likes leading, and I think it gets the perfect run from barrier one, and it might be ones you add in your first fours if you're playing. Number 14, Keats, Craig Newitt, barrier four, $71.
I think I've been pretty clear about Keats. So look, I can obviously it'll go forward on the map, but I think it's looking for further. So I don't think it's going to be sharp enough across 1600. Worm?
This is one of the best marketing campaigns I've seen. They deserve their spot because of that. On form, I can't be with this horse, though, and that's what we're here for, is for the form. Beaten 2.2 by pounding first up, then finished alongside Sosi Bond. They're not the right form line, but if you're having a first four and you're looking for a horse to add, I think chuck it in because it'll be leading and it loves a dogfight. It will not give up. I know Matty thinks the ambulance is going to beat this home, but I generally think it can run fourth if it finds the rail. Interesting runner. I know he's outweighted, weight for age, all that, but it throws up interesting results, the All-Star Mile, second and third, or fourth as well. So keep an eye. I don't know. That's just me. 15, She's a Belter. Willie Pike. Whoa! I'm banning anyone that's from Perth in Melbourne, so I'm not going to even give this a chance. Barrier 13, $15.
I can see why it's at $15 and not 35 like some of the others. Obviously, 54 kilos gives the rest of the field 5 kilos. The rest of the field are giving it 5 kilos. I don't like it from out wide, but from a ratings perspective, it's not the worst in the field. So I'd imagine there'd be a fair few punters out there that have followed She's a Belter. I'm not going to talk you out of it running a placing within this race. I don't necessarily think it's a winning chance, though.
I'm banning anything to do with Perth. So there's a Perth jockey on it. So it's a flat no from me. Any Perth horse, trainer, jockey, owners, they've got a life ban after the last couple of weeks. So that's a no for me on She's a Belter. Just while we were talking now, I'm having a look at the markets. Everyone's roughly got their market at about 126%. So if you like something at odds, I reckon wait, because I think they come for a couple and they'll get to roughly 112%. So things are going to drift, things are going to come in. But if you like things at double figures, just wait, because, there's a couple of prices there I think are completely...
Who do they come for?
I think they come for Alligator Blood.
Yep.
Well, they already have, but I think it could easily start 230.
Yep.
Just because of the map. Mr. Brightside, I think they'll come for a bit more. He'll come 550 maybe, just because of the map. And
I think they've got to go for a few at odds. A couple of those in the 20s and even the early 30s. I think there's quite a bit of value to be had there.
Well, they've backed on Thunderstruck off the map the last two starts. So
yes.
Do they do this again? Do they back it off the map? I don't know, but... I'm not going to give too much away because I might give away who I like before we even get into it. Matty, what are you doing with your $100?
Well, mate, I will be putting my main bet on Mr. Brightside at $50, Gentleman Roy $30, and Pounding is the one at odds that I do like winning the field. So that'll be at $20 to round us up to $100. And you've given me an extra $2, so I'm going to throw $1 on Aegon and Mr. Oberon.
Yeah, right.
So just to wrap that up, Mr. Brightside main bet, Gentleman Roy, I think is a real live chance, and Pounding, I think is the best outside within this race.
Nice. I'm skirting it up here, as I'd like to say. I'm having a place bet. I'm happy to be with Lords.
You love this race.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to be with Lords and Indices, the place at around 440. I just think it's stupid odds we're calling Animo the best horse in the world, best horse in Oz, and I don't think it's been respected on the price. So 440 the place, I think that's a great bet to have. I'll be looking to take a few same race multis as well with Alligator Blood to win, with Oars of Indies fourth. Play a few round with a few of the outsiders. Don't have to have much on because it's going to pay quite well. But yeah, I just think Lords of Indices is a stupid price. I think they come for it. I think it'll easily start $9. But yeah, get on now, 440 the place. Like, I think it's a good play.
Very nice. Okay.
All right, we'll move to race 6, Rosehill Ranvert Stakes, Group 1, 2,000 metres. Gold Trip, Mark Zara on board. Matty, take it away.
Gold Trip, mate. You know I love this horse. I backed it in the Caulfield, Cox and Melbourne Cup. Look, 2,000 metres is in its ideal distance. But when you have a look at its last start and how it's come back this prep, it has been exceptional. So it needs to be in serious consideration, Gold Trip. I see Mark Zara racing up in Sydney. Worm, you're all over this. Is he just gone up there for the Gold Trip run, or has he got a couple of others within some Group 1s?
No, he's got a couple of others. I generally think he's chasing Gold Trip because it'll get him to Sydney for the bigger races down the carnival. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's, why would you want to stay for one race where he might have been riding Gentleman Roy?
Yep, not fair call. How dare you say that about Gentleman Roy? Gold Trip, your thoughts?
Interesting map here. Map will be down below how we sort of feel. Great return, spotting the leader at least 12 lengths at the 600, and this horse ran the fastest 1,800 home and the meeting, and top 10 for the remainder 642 home. Came back super, I thought. 2,000 metres will suit, and no tearaway leader this time, so that's going to help. My only issue is the map. It'll be near last, and it could be 3 wide, no cover if Zara decides to push the button. But I think he'll take it into near last like he did last start and go through the gears. But, yeah, genuine chance. Number 2, Mwanga, Nashville Willer, barrier 6, $4.40.
Yeah, so if Gold Trip, his ideal distance isn't 2,000 metres. For me, Mwanga's ideal distance is between that 2,000 and 2,400. This is the horse where this type of race is right up its alley. Nash on board from barrier number 6. I would imagine it's going to be positive. Now, you have a look at its last prep where it raced in the McKinnon. Exceptionally strong, only second to Zaki, 5th in the Cox. Wow, this horse has been very consistent for a long time. My main concern with it hasn't won for a while, Worm.
Yep. I thought this horse is flying under the radar, and I thought I found something here. But when I looked at the price, I think I've seen what they've seen, which is a little disappointing. But last start sat on a very fast tempo and was right there at the end. And the other leader dropped out, Knight's Order. This horse was fighting back with 50 metres to go, 2,000 metres. I feel this will suit. Nash goes on board. I think they're going to be positive with him. And I think his best racing is when he rolls forward. I think they don't go a fast tempo. I think it's a jumper's speed, 2,000 metres. Number 3, Dubai Honour International, Willie Haggis. Ryan Moore flies down, barrier 2, $4.50.
Worm, kick us off with this, please.
You got no thoughts?
I do, but I'd like to hear yours. You are the international guru.
Yes. If this horse brings its form from Maidan, which is March 22, this horse wins. There's no doubt about it. Finished alongside Pole Driver, who won the King George Group 1 2,000 metres in Europe, which is a massive race over there. Last start, finished 4 lengths in a big race in Europe. The winner was Bay Bridge, who has form around Adabe and State of Rest. in that race was Bayid as well, finished just behind it. It might have been cooked that day, but I know there's some weird form lines there, but I'm just trying to tie something in for the viewers so they can get a gauge on this horse and who he's raced against and who's raced down here. So if there's any news on this horse settling in good or going well, then back this horse, because first up, International Trainers is a high percentage play and a deadly combo. Just look at last week with the staying race. It was, I think it was a Willie Haggis horse. Won first up, International Trainer. So big tick for me. Matty.
Yeah, look, clearly its ratings are well and truly up to this field. So for me, it's you can't write it off. I haven't heard much about this horse within the media. So I think across the next 2 to 3 days, it's one to definitely listen to. I would imagine the punters will come for this, and I also imagine they're going to come for Gold Trip at the same time. I see those two starting about equal favourite within this race, but it'll be interesting to see what the camp says across the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's just Victoria Media will not report on Sydney News. I wonder if they've just been told not to report on it, but that's just my thing. I did see some news about him on Twitter, so I've put it in my file to look at. So yeah, if they will come for this horse, they've come for it early. It was 6s into 450 already, so I think they come again, and it starts with a 3 in front of it easily. Yep. Number 4, Raise You, Joseph O'Brien, Johnny Allen goes up, barrier 4, $21.
Well, I've definitely got Dubai Honour in front of it, and I think this horse will be looking for further, so it'll be a pass for me.
Yeah, this horse might be looking for further. Great win 2 starts ago, last start, below par last start. Must respect the European form, but it might be a Sydney Cup horse at best. Trainers brought a couple of these horses down, and I think this is the bottom seed of them. Back to 2020, this horse finished 5 lengths off Numerayan, so there's something you can tie in. I know it's 3 years ago. Weird form line, but 7-year-old now, and that's why I can't be with it. Be careful as well. A lot of people bring these horses down to sell them off to Aussie owners. So it'd be interesting to see. Just the last couple of years, they've come down, and yeah, they've sold them off pretty quickly to Aussie owners. Number 5, Banker's Choice. Mick D, Group 1 winning jockey again, barrier 7, $61.
When we've backed this one in the Ballarat Cup for the community previously, look, this is a bit of a different challenge, and I think the market's around right with this being the outside chance. I'm interested to see how it has come back. Look, it's definitely not the worst $60 chance that I've ever seen. I can't be tipping people into it within this race. Don't be surprised if it's competitive, though.
Yeah, has come back well, I think. I just think it's out of its depth. I'll go deeper into this horse with another horse, so stay tuned. Number 6, Al Bodegon, Huey Bowman from Hong Kong, barrier 3, $19.
Look, first thing I wondered was, does this horse need a wet track? And you go back and have a look at some of this runs over in France, a long chap, and realistically, it doesn't need a wet track. So trying to find excuses for its couple of starts this preparation is a bit of a head scratcher, because its Cox Plate run was absolutely huge, and within a field like this should be almost equal favourite. So it's really quite surprising to see how this horse has come back this preparation and almost been non-competitive. Surprised that Huey's on board, no real affiliation with the horse, and J-Mac has gone onto Hinged. So a couple of questions, but if it brings anywhere near its European form, it's right at the top of the list. So it's concerning the last couple of starts, but I've also got in the back of my mind how good this horse has been.
Yeah, you summed it up pretty well, mate. Going off its Cox Plate run, I'd want to be with it, but it has come back horrible, and I can't be with it. We're not even with stolen money, and I wouldn't even make this a recommended bet off those runs. I don't know what's going on with Waller and these internationals, because when they've had a couple of months under his wings, none of them have come back well. Solcombe, Albotagon. I don't know. I'm not saying it's his fault, but maybe the horses aren't adapting to the regime down here. So, yeah, probably wins by 5 now after I've done that. Montefilia, number 7. Daniel Gibbons, barrier 5, $9.50.
Dylan. But Montefilia, again, one that I liked for the Melbourne Cup last year as well. I wonder if it's going to be sharp enough across 2,000 metres here. I would imagine it's probably going to be set for a 2,400 metre race, or potentially even the Sydney Cup. So Montefilia, look, it's one you've got to keep safe, and its last start was really quite good. It ran through the line nicely, but I can't tip you into Montefilia within this field. Worm?
Yeah, great return in Chipping Norton. Hit the line hard, through the line I really like. Wouldn't talk you out of backing this horse. I'm just not a fan of horses second up. Just a personal thing, me. But it can win with what it did first up. Number 8, Hinged. James McDonald, barrier 1, $5.
Well, I expect this one to go for be extremely positive from barrier number 1. Leader, if not alongside the leader on the rail. The pace in this race is going to be quite interesting. We touched on it. Mwanga, I would imagine, is going to be positive as well. Those two, I assume, are going to be side by side. Hinge, though, very disappointing last start, dropping back from 16 to 1,500 metres in the Coolmore. I expect it to improve, but at 460, there's others I'd prefer to be with. Worm?
I'm just pushing refresh, mate. I see $5. I just wonder if they've left a 0 off the end. Yeah, I'm taking this horse on. $4.60, $5 is poison odds. Yes, it ran last start in a very, very fast tempo. Hit the line well. But what I can't understand here, last time 2,000 metres, Banker's Choice beat Hinged home, and Banker's Choice was unlucky in that race. So why is Banker's Choice 61 and Hinge is $4.60? I'm going to be using Betfair. I'm going to use the pink button. I'm going to lay this until it really hurts me, because I don't get the price difference. 2,000 metres. No, there's a few internationals, Mwanga Gold Trip, that are genuine horses here. It's a dead set no from me, and watch it win by 2 lengths. One thing I'll add here, Albotagon blinkers first time. So I think... No, that's all right. No, I'm thinking of another horse. But yeah, betting. Matty, what are you doing?
Mate, there's a bit of a toss-up between two, being Gold Trip and Moonga, but I went back and had a look at Moonga, and the fact it hasn't won for almost 600 days is quite a concern for me. So for that reason, I'm not going to be with Moonga, and I'm going to be sticking with Gold Trip. So I'll be putting 80 of the 100 on Gold Trip, and the horse you just mentioned, El Bottagong. Now, as I said, I cannot get that European form out of my head plus a Cox plate. Yep. I can't recommend it as a bet based on its last 2 starts, but it has quality. So it doesn't need to perform to its absolute peak to be winning a race like this. And it's more of I just need to have something on it type bet. But main bet will be with Gold Trip, $80. El Bottagong at $20. Worm, yourself?
I'm going to have the 70 on Dubai Honor. I think its European form is good enough. If it brings that maiden race 2 here, I don't know how they get near it. And I'm going to have $30 on Mwanga. I know he's a nonny for a long, long time, but he is flying under the radar for me. I think he's a 2,400 metre horse, but Nash on board, goes to the front. I don't think he goes a silly tempo. He just walks up front, and he will kick with 400 to go. And so 70 on at 450, 30 on at 440. I think it's a good bet to have. WhatsApp, guys. If you want to join the community, I'll put my email down below. If you'd like to join, just email me or DM one of us on our socials. We'll put you straight through. Please subscribe to our YouTube or any podcast platform. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. We had a big boost in subscribers this week, so thank you for everyone that joined. Hope you enjoy the show. More importantly, we hope that we tip you a winner or find you a winner. So, yeah, we're on any podcast platform. We're on YouTube, Whispers Racing Podcast. A special shout out to Bronski, or I hope I've got that name right. Thank you for your kind words, mate, on one of the socials. Really appreciate it, mate. We do this for free, and yeah, there's no hidden paywalls. We do this off our own times. We've got our own jobs at home, jobs that we pays for all the bills and food on our tables. So yeah, it's all free. And mate, we both really appreciate your very kind words that you did on last week's episode. Even though we went from, I think, 0 from 7 with about 5 placings.
Would have been nice little place multi.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So yeah, get in contact if you want to join. We will welcome anyone joining the community. And it might be a time you join the community as we get later into the show. Around the grounds, you've got anything, Matty?
Nothing around the grounds. I'll be popping something on the community on Saturday, though, as I have time to take a bit of a closer look.
Yep, and that's why you got to join the community, because you're going to get more info come Saturday. I'm going to have one bet around the grounds. Golden Slipper. I love these sort of races, 2-year-olds. King's Gambit I'm going to be with. It's around the $8. How can you forget this debut at October in Caulfield? It absolutely pissed in. 2 starts this prep have been full of excuses. First up, slipped over and ran a nice race. Second up, go and watch Nash's ride from about the 300 metres. What was he doing? Wow-wee. Not calling it dodgy, but I don't know what words to use, actually, but it was a very interesting ride. Had a jump out since. Mark Zara flew up for that. He jumps on now, and they let him go. And wow, did this horse have an acceleration in that jump out? I know it's a jump out, but I like to see that in jump outs. Plus, this trainer combo of the Snowdens, they are huge grand final players. Just look at what Don Cherry-On did in the Blue Diamond. It came off an average run and exploded in the Blue Diamond. At $8, I'm happy to have a bet here on King's Gambit. All right, multi-time. We're not going to do the normal multi because we've only previewed 2 races. There's no point having a 2-leg multi. So we're going to do some same race multis in the 2 races. All-Star Mile. Matty, what are you going to chuck in?
We'll chuck in Mr. Brightside.
Top 3?
What do we say? Top 3, top 4?
Top 3. You've gone the extra confidence in 3. Yep. I'm going to chuck in Lords of Indices top 4. Yep. We reckon that might come to around $5-6. And you know what? I'm going to throw in another same race multi. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw in Alligator Blood to win, Laws of Indices top 4, Mr. Brightside top 4.
Yep.
Or you could take those in a exacta trifectas as well. I just think I do like Alligator Blood. I think he gets the perfect run. I just think he's going to be a very good race. And the Ranvert, Matty, what are you chucking in?
We landed on Gold Trip. It's for top 2.
Oh, okay. So that leaves me with Dubai Honor, and I'll go top 2. All right. So Quinella might be better to play that on the totes, but we might, as it is a same race multi, we'll top 2 Quinellas. If you want to be more ballsy, take one to win, take the other one to run second. But yeah.
Don't mind that for a Quinella. I think Gold Trip will be coming very fast, and it'll need to get past Dubai Honor.
100%. So yeah, they're our 2 same race multis. Obviously, we can't put them on till 9:30 Saturday. So yeah, check them out because I think we'll get a good price in the All-Star Mile. Ranvert might be skinny, but sometimes you've got to take a skinny to get a nice result. Pineapple of the week. There's no pineapple of the week this week, punters. It will be, but it's going to be on our social medias because I've only done a handful of races at the Valley. I don't want to throw one out and just chew people's monies up. We're going to try and actually get one over the line this week. Been a bad run of late, lots of seconds. So stick to the socials. You can probably get it a lot earlier in the community. So if you want to join the community.
I'll tell you what, talking of pineapples, I might need to just remind ourselves around what jockeys are on board our pineapples.
Yeah, we were schooled. We were absolute. I was working and watched the race, and it's been a while since I've been very composed watching a race and just nodding my head and going, "Oh, that was a nice win. Yeah, great win. Yeah."
Oh, mate. Well, there's giving someone a head start, and then there's fucking giving them the length of the straight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
we
that's
move on,
it.
and
we move on.
You'll be finding us a winner for the pineapple this week.
Yep. So join the community. Footy kicks off, Matty. Any bets in the footy? Have you got one that you can? Have you got any?
Let's go Blues by. I
said real bets, not play bets. No, go on.
No, mate, no. I haven't got anything that I'd be getting people to put their hard-earned on, so no.
Okay. I'm going to throw you two out, one for the NRL. I think Parramatta Thursday night plus 2.5 head start is a good bet to have. And let's go. Oh, I can't think of the other one. Oh, West Coast, North Melbourne, under 171 points. Yeah.
What, Al Clarkson, just strangle?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm. These two teams averaged 60 and 40 for the year last year, so that's 100 combined, and they're asking you to take 171. I didn't know Plugger and Gary Ablett were playing for both sides. I don't know, but yeah, 171's a big number. So yeah, they're my two bets for the rugby and footy for this week. Yeah, you get all that on the community. So, yeah, jump in if you want to join us. Any last thoughts, Matty?
Mate, cracking weekend of racing. So, going to be enjoying both the All-Star Mile. You got the Slipper. Well, you got 5 Group 1s up in Sydney. How can you be disappointed with the entertainment that's going to be on show?
Yeah, 10 races Valley, 10 races Rosehill, AFL, NRL, A-League if you like it. Like, it is dead set, jam-packed, and I'll be out on track sinking a few cans with a few mates and having a fair income yell, I reckon.
And watching Port Adelaide over the All-Star Mile.
Yeah. If Port Adelaide get up, I might not be seen for a while because it might be our only good victory for the year. And yeah. But, yeah, that's all we got this week, guys. Hopefully we might be back Thursday or Wednesday. Depends when Carlton play next week. So, yeah, we'll be back next week for Aussie Cup Day and whatever the meeting is at Sydney.
Look forward to it, mate.
All right. Thank you, guys. And gamble responsibly, more important. Thank you all.